And obviously, you Mr. Monopoly. Like, you know what I mean? You got so much money, you don't know what to do with it.
Right.
But you can't even tell the truth about your kids. Hey, my loves. Welcome back to our channel. Thank you so much for joining us again. I'm your girl, Zar Eleanor. This is my beautiful husband, Joseph.
Hey.
And we are back. Okay, we are back and we are talking the Never Ever Mets today. I know it's kind of we've been quiet for a minute.
Not really. They just skipped a week.
Oh, it's only been a week?
Yeah, they just skipped a week and then they came back, which they starting this already.
I know, like enough with the BS on. It's been really exhausting, but we had a week, you know what I mean? Joe was at the Roots picnic.
Right, and speaking of the Roots picnic, I links up with Naeem at the Roots picnic. If y'all watch Ready to Love Philly, y'all know who Naeem is. He can't make it, I don't know, 30 feet without somebody stopping him, asking him when is his show coming back.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, what's going on? Because they took a multiple months long hiatus. They supposed to be coming back all in August. What's with the stoppages, y'all?
Like, explain it to me. Like, I really want to understand it. It just feels like bad for programming.
Yeah. And just bad for the momentum, too. Like, you know, when Ready to Love went off, they had a lot of momentum. Like, it was like...
Yeah, it was a buzz.
It was a buzz, you know what I mean?
I agree.
But then they just disappeared out of nowhere. And that kind of is what happened 2 weeks ago with with the Never Ever Mets.
Yeah, so it's been really odd. We are finally in our third trimester. My emotions are all over the place for all of you who want to know. Baby is doing well, and baby is moving all over the place all the time.
For real.
So shout out to all the mommies, because this is such a cool experience. As uncomfortable and as tired as I've been, I do like it. I just don't like anybody else. I literally just want to be home, not talking to anybody. I don't want Joe to talk to anybody. I want Joe to be home, and I want us to be in our bubble. But I guess my rose for the week, before we get into the Never Ever Mets, my mom is here. And it's been so unbelievably helpful to me to have my mom here, because like all the things I don't want to do, my mom doesn't mind doing. Like, she cleans the floor, she does everything. She gets up, she makes breakfast, lunch, dinner, just based on how she vibing that day.
For real. And
it's appreciated. And shout out to all the mommies with mommies who take care, or daddies, girls, or whatever, who have somebody who can take care of them and love on them during this time. Because, y'all, I was a crying, bubbling mess today, which is why I'm kind of tired. So let's dig on into these messes that the people who should have never actually ever met, that never ever met. So I'm gonna be honest, like, I really do love this show.
It's good.
That's the problem with OWN, though. A lot of their content is good.
Yeah.
It's authentic, it's real, it's good, and it's messy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but it's
that's
good.
just the human nature of, you put humans together in any house, is going to be messy.
I agree. So this episode opens up, all the guys are chatting, and we really dig into Ty and Britney first in this episode. So Ty is playing pool with the guys, with Jared and Brandon and Chris, and they just get to chatting about, you know, how his date went with Britney. So he says, you know, he made her all her favorite meal, which is crab legs, just like every other, you know what I mean, John from, you know, here from 22nd Street down to 122nd Street. Yeah. You know what I mean? We all love us a crab leg. And he made her, like, you know, he was just running down how he felt more excited about the relationship. And I am kind of feeling a way for Ty, because it is so clear that it's not being reciprocated.
1,000%. And I love that Jared clocked it. You know what I mean? When he was talking to Britney, and straight up told her, very honest and very straightforward, like, I can tell that you are not attracted to him.
So let me tell y'all something about Jared. Y'all not gonna get me to dislike him. When he said I be seeing people, I genuinely believe he does.
Oh yeah. I mean, y'all know we said it. And so it was refreshing to hear somebody there living in the house, doing life with these people, to also confirm a lot of the things that we are saying and we are seeing. Because sometimes it's like the elephant in the room that nobody on camera is speaking to.
Yes.
And we could say it for weeks and still feel a little crazy because it's like, are y'all seeing this?
Which also feels like when we are talking, like watching these shows and we be like, oh, y'all producing or whatever the case may be, this the kind of producing I want to see.
Yeah.
Like, I want you to break the fourth wall. Like, I want you to be like, let's be for real. You ain't really into the bull. Like, you know what I mean?
And we all see it.
And we all see it. And I think this is a very important conversation to have because Jared says you may like him, but you are not attracted to him. And she was like, no, I'm attracted to him. Like, she lied.
Straight up.
But she didn't have to.
No, because he wasn't even meeting you with any animosity about it. He was just saying, like, I could tell that, and he was nicer than I thought he should have been in the sense of, like, I don't believe that she likes him, period. I mean physically, mentally, emotionally. I think she looks like she recoils every time he touches her.
Yes.
So I don't.
Which is weird because her vibe was so different when the brother was around.
Completely different, which, like we said, that was just an indicator that was even more confirmation that she does not like this man, because we saw her around somebody who we can tell this is how you act when you like somebody. And I don't even mean romantically. That's a whole nother conversation. I'm just meaning like just period.
In general.
Yeah.
Just in general, you're absolutely correct. And I think that him kind of calling her out on that, I thought was really good because he said that Ty's love language is physical touch and acts of service. And she was like, well, that's not my love language. And this is why love languages get a bad rap, because y'all don't understand
At
that
all.
the language is, yes, you're supposed to understand your own love language, but you're supposed to be speaking someone else's love language. So like my husband's love language is physical touch. And I think everybody is all five. It's just where it's ranked. Right? Like on the spectrum. But I would say yours is you lead with physical touch.
Right.
And you like quality time.
Right.
And I would say I'm not a physical touch girly, but I touch my husband because I know that's important to him.
Because imagine me saying, oh, my wife's love language is acts of service and words of confirmation, but I don't do that because that's not my love language. How asinine is that? You're an adult grown woman. The fact that some of y'all really operate in the world, and what's scary about this is, I'm so glad that it played out on camera, because what's scary about this is y'all will be in the world treating people like this, get out of the relationship, and then get in other people's face and say they were the problem.
Yes.
And that's the accountability issue that we talk about. That's the weird thing. You know what I mean? Like, y'all will literally be in these relationships running amok, doing whatever y'all want to do, treating them however the hell you treating them how you wanted to treat them, not how they wanted to be treated.
Exactly.
And then be like, it ended because all my exes are crazy. Like, this is sad.
That is true. And also you're a bad actor. What we're not saying, Brittany, is that you're a bad actor. Everybody, if we're at the point where Jared can tell that you are not attracted to this man, whatever you think you're doing, you're not doing it
at
well.
all. You're not playing us, not one bit.
Right.
Because we clocked that weeks ago, and we wasn't living in the house with you.
Right. I wasn't even there.
We weren't even there.
But since he is and is able to like come across with that information, I thought that was like, honestly, it made me like Jared more, even though he is an evil villain.
I don't even think I'm starting to not even believe that he's an evil villain. I'm starting to believe that Jared is the type of honest that everybody say that they want.
Yes.
And can't
You're
handle.
Right. I don't think that he's an evil villain. I think that he treats people how they treat themselves.
And I believe that.
Do you love yourself? Then I'll love you. Do you care for yourself? Do you hold yourself in high regard? Then I'll do that as well for you. But if you treat yourself like the slum, you want to be out here dipping it low and spreading it wide, I'm going to treat you like that too.
Straight up. I don't have nobody. Y'all know me. I don't have any issue with anyone who loves to keep the same energy. And I don't think that Jared is doing anything outside of that. I believe him when he said that he showed up with intentions to be together and go back home together. And I believe him when he says when she told him to his face that she lied to him about 3 human beings that's walking the earth that belonged to her, his thought process changed about that.
But y'all, he called it her extended family.
Her extended family.
That would never not be funny to me. That would never. These are her children. They came out they laid up under her heart. They came out her pum pum. They are not her extended family.
He was trying to be nice. he was trying not to say you're lied about bastard children.
Don't do that.
That's what she did.
Oh my God, y'all! Please.
You don't even want to claim these kids. How are we supposed to dress it up nice?
But
that's crazy to me.
You don't want to claim your kids.
How am I? You want me to go back to your city and take care of them? That's crazy to me.
How am I supposed to claim your kid? You know what? That is such a valid point, Neil. Jared does go out. Jared must have been on his truth tour today. He's tired. Truth is, he is tired.
Well, he's tired, and it's coming to. You could tell people is leaving. It's coming to the end.
Like,
I don't know how many episodes we got left, but we can see that the wheels are wearing thin. The tread is wearing off these tires.
He's ready to go, okay? Because he pulls old girl aside, Charlie, and just tells her straight up, when we played the game and they asked, would you leave with the person right now? I wrote, hell, mother... I ain't never leaving with a raggedy ass, two-faced ass, stank ass bitch like that ever in my motherfucking life.
For real.
Ever, never, ever.
Facts.
No.
And the truth is, he really only did that at that point because his sister was coming. And to your point, he keeps the same energy. He's like, I don't lie to my sister.
Oh, I lie to you, hoes. But I ain't lying to her.
I'm not lying to her. So now I have to have this conversation with you because she's about to come.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Because I didn't understand why it was such a sense of urgency to have it then.
Because the sister was coming and he was like, I can't really keep this up any longer because I don't lie to her.
But the way he said it was the reason why I liked it, y'all, it was so delicious because he said it so matter of fact that he was leaving no room for interpretation. Yeah. And a lot of times that's where y'all get kind of, all of y'all live in a gray area. A man will literally tell you something and be straight about it. We just had this happen with somebody. They will literally say something and you will literally contort yourself into a pretzel to make it something else.
Yeah.
You will literally alter your brain function for you to tell me that he meant something else. And I'm just listening to the words of motherfuckers say.
And you know what? And I'm gonna tell you where a lot of y'all try to get off on it because they didn't say this, that, and the third direct and verbatim. And Jared said, I'm not even going to give you that today.
I won't even give you
the direct words of, I am not really trying to leave here with you. I'm just here for the vibe.
She said, so you were going to drag me along so you could have fun here?
Yes.
He said, yes.
Straight up.
Ooh, delicious.
And to be honest, let me tell you why I'm glad he said that. Because we know people personally that if he would have said, I don't know, or if he would have said, maybe I'm thinking about it, they would have twisted. Had we not been there for the conversation, they would have came and told us the conversation like, Jared's not really sure what he wants to do.
Oh, no, he meant next week.
Yes. Oh, they love to tell us what he meant.
Oh, they love to tell us.
Well, we heard what you said. If
y'all
you're saying
wouldn't believe it, y'all. We be having conversations with people and they love to tell us.
That's not what it. That's not.
Oh,
what
no. That's not what he meant.
He doesn't want a baby with me. He just means he doesn't want babies in life.
He didn't mean he doesn't want to be married again. He just meant that marriage sucks. Yeah.
No, y'all. This is not.
I'm not kidding.
Joking, bro.
These are like.
The way that y'all can church us up, y'all really is impressive. It should be studied.
It should be studied.
Like y'all will really twist yourself into a pretzel about somebody who you really like or think is attractive. To the whole Britney and Ty thing.
Yes.
Right? Like if Britney really thought that Ty was attractive, it didn't matter what he was cooking, what he said to her. Like, we've seen it happen.
We're going to get back to Jared and Chris, but I want to touch on Britney and Ty, because you're absolutely 1000% correct. A lot of times, women will talk to you like they're not as shallow as men. And we know that not to be the truth. You know what I mean? Because y'all all wanting the same man. So we know that. And because we see that, you know what I mean? We know that y'all can be shallow, which is fine. Which is fine. Your preference is your preference. But for her to sit up in our adult faces and say, oh no, it's not that I'm not attracted to him. I'm just taking my time. Girl.
I'm just taking my time. He just gives me friend vibes. He gives you friend vibes because you're not attracted to him.
It's math. It's math. And you got to stop talking to us like we slow. But that's why Jared clocked her, okay? Because it's like, sis, enough of it. He was at his wit's end. And he was really about to tell everybody how he felt about it.
No, honestly and truly. Like, and I just respect the transparency, because we have to start, as men, we have to start taking the guessing game out of it even more, because these women will get on here and say that you said anything.
But what you
have to just be like, we need to be more like Jared. You know what? I don't want to see you ever again. Like, you almost have to just be rude, like, you know what I mean, and crass, because you can't just say, you know what, I don't think we should go out anymore, because then somebody's going to tell me and my wife, you know what, that's not what he meant.
I think that people need to be that way. I think that women do it too. This thing where, like, you know, you holding on to somebody and you know you really ain't. Britney doing it right now. You know what I mean?
100%.
You really ain't feeling them, whatever the case may be. When in truth, you should just be curt. And I'm of the belief you keep all these men, date them all, do whatever you want to do. I really do subscribe to that. However, I do think that there is something to treating people how they want to be treated. You know what I mean? The reason why this situation with Jared and Charlie is hilarious to me, because it was wildly unserious in the beginning.
From the very start.
At the point in which you would hide your children from a man.
Multiple children.
You know what I mean?
For years. You did it for almost 5 years.
For almost 5 years, you couldn't have thought you was going to come in and tell this grown-ass man you had 3 more humans, and he was going to be like, cool, I really like you. I don't know what kind of poom-poom you think you got, but
she thought she had the golden, golden ticket.
She thought
and honestly, I'm starting to think that's what's behind a lot of this, is that y'all think y'all just walk around with the golden ticket, and once I put this golden ticket on this man, he's just gonna fly to Alabama and take care of all of my 5 kids.
Poom poom ain't nothing but meat on the bone. Y'all got to learn to be the vibe. You know what I mean? So the other part of this is, you know, she said this is why she hid it from him, because hid the children from Jared, because Charlie expected Jared to have this response. And that's so unfortunate to me, because at the time you started dating Jared, you only had 2 more children.
Right.
The 4th child just got here.
And he had kids.
Exactly. And it's kind of like, and granted, that does not take away from the fact that he lied as well.
Right, which makes this whole thing even more unserious, because both of y'all came into this situation lying to each other for years. Mm-hmm. For years.
And the what's weirder about this, and this is why I want y'all to get hip with how y'all deal with men. He took that as a betrayal that you didn't tell him about a kid. Mm-hmm. But he didn't take him not telling her about a kid as a betrayal. Does that make sense?
Right.
Until it was like, oh, first of all, I thought, because he knew it was wrong.
Yeah.
He knew it was wrong to keep it from you. And now he like, you're 3 times wronger than me?
Yeah, that's exactly.
And I know I'm wrong. Yeah. I don't see it for you. Like, you know what I mean? And that's unfortunate to young women like Charlie, because I get what she's trying to do. She's trying to get somebody to love her for her. But I do feel like it's a weird way to go. Now, he tells his sister about this whole endeavor. Jared tells his sister about everything that's going on. The face the sister made when she found out the child had 3 more kids was hilarious. She was like, what is going on out here?
And I like his sister. I'm glad she was there and brought on this, series of truth-telling events.
I love this sister, and I love this sister for a number of reasons. One being, she was honest and a lot nicer than I would be. Because I would be like, oh, you stupid. I just said it. Oh, you dumb. Jesus. But she was just like really polite to Charlie and big Charlie up. And it's just nice to see women interact with other women that way, because you already embarrassed yourself. I don't have to get on here and do nothing extra.
100%. And I thought she needed to hear from somebody else's perspective of this idea. Well, he should have told me right in the moment how he was feeling. You dropped 3 more kids on somebody after lying about it for almost 5 years, and they owe you an immediate reaction? They're not allowed to process anything.
5 years?
It's asinine. The fact that she said, I'm so glad the sister checked on that. Like, why would you think that that was even realistic to expect from any human being?
It's just because this is all unserious. But I hope they have fun. I hope they dipped it low, spread it wide, and they got the good memories from it. I really, really do. You know what I mean? And I actually hope they remain friends. I think Charlie, Ari, and Jerry, I really like. You know what I mean? I don't think it has to. I mean, y'all do not need to be together because nobody here is honest.
Yeah, and it's just very unserious. They don't need to be together. To me, they don't need to remain friends. They don't even need to communicate. This whole thing was a facade. You can't really be that into anybody who you don't see for 4 years. Period. So y'all really, this is not the Charlie with the tears and all that other. You have to stop the dramatics.
But so the sister asked why hide your children, and she said, I just didn't want to be seen as like a single woman with all these kids and all the stuff like that. She was like I take care of my kids. I don't need nobody. But then she said something that I don't like. She says, I make a lot of money. Like, I probably make more money than you do. Talking about Jared. And I felt like to emasculate him in a moment. And
you just put the nail in your coffin.
That's what you don't know. But he gonna break you off about 3 more times. He'll never speak to you again.
Oh, 100%.
And he'll never do it. And because I felt like that was out of line. Because
it was.
It was so weird. It was almost like under the radar.
Yeah, it was, because I missed it.
Because I watched it the second time, but I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like, who even says that?" Like, and all things could be true, right? You actually could make more money than him, but you also have more liabilities than he does.
100%.
So you right. If we look at you on a scale, you actually probably make less than he does because you have to feed 4 more people.
But the facts aside, you didn't say that in order to figure out what the financial responsibilities would be. You said that no one says that to a man for any other reason than to emasculate him. He's done with you. Once you start doing that to men, he could be in the house, sleeping in the bed with you. He's done. He's done with you.
Literally. And it's just like, girl, that was low. And I'm not saying that from a space of not being a woman who hasn't said it. I'm saying it from somebody who has said it. It's low. It's low.
Especially, and you want him to come back to you. You literally just sat on the couch and was crying about how, I don't know if he's not going to love me. I don't know who will. Ain't nobody going to love you. You talking like to them like that.
Nobody's going to love you, and you lie about your humans.
Yeah, period. That's not.
And also what we're burying the lead on is that this process is so intimate and monogamous. Y'all will talk about the men who slide between your legs for 37 seconds, but you wouldn't talk about a baby you carried up under your heart for 10 months.
Yeah. And for what?
Something in your brain, 3 times 3, something in your brain has to be broken.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that men, everybody got to know your kids or meet your kids.
No.
I'm saying that these humans have imprinted on your life. They are extension of who you are. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
I find it to be.
And you're an adult. It's not like you're 23.
And obviously, you Mr. Monopoly. Like, you know what I mean? You got so much money, you don't know what to do with it.
Right.
But you can't even tell the truth about your kids. It's so unserious.
It's silly.
It's so silly. It's so silly. So, but shout out to the sister. shout out to Jared's sister. She was a sweetheart, and that's really what all this comes down to. Well, I guess Chris and Alexis. Me as dominant as aggressive as Alexis. And those are her words, not mine.
Yes, they were.
Okay. She says, yeah, I'm dominant. Yeah, I'm aggressive. Which I wish which she probably did because she seems like a very good therapist. I wish that Dr. Ali would have kind of said, what makes you feel like you're aggressive or you have to be aggressive or what does that look like? Because she asked Chris and he went on a whole diatribe. And I don't mean about his trauma. And I don't mean that to deprecate his trauma, guys. What I'm saying is Chris needs therapy by his damn self.
And he said that. He said, somebody told me that I should try it a long time ago. And I really was just like, too nervous to go or whatever. So he said that.
Well, he need to unnerve himself and hit the crisis line because he got things he need to unpack.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And she has things she needs to unpack because that constant feeling of having to be, I do think that there are people who make certain decisions and do certain things in life and they are leaders. But dominance and aggression.
That's very different.
It's different. You know what I mean? And I feel like, she's describing herself as a leader. That's one thing. But I think to describe yourself as dominant and aggressive to a man who wants to also be type A in his relation, or not type A, but be dominant and aggressive in his relationship.
Or he just want to be a man.
That's what I mean.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't even have to. If I wanted to be with a man, I wouldn't be with a woman. What are we doing here? Mm-hmm. I don't want to be with somebody who's also masculine. I just don't. And most men do not. And so for her to be like, and then she kind of said something that I didn't really like because she kind of blamed it on the culture, which is a bad rep that a lot of black women get. She said, well, that's just my culture.
She did say that.
You know what I mean? Which is a stereoteat.
Which
black
is
women
a stereotype.
Are aggressive and blah, blah, blah. We just dealt with it on
Especially
Married
Philadelphia women.
We dealt with it on Married at First Sight with Kechi and MM, and she was upset about the word aggressive.
I feel like she should be. I feel like she shouldn't be using the word aggressive.
But that's
to describe herself because I think she means something else.
Oh, are you talking about Alexis?
I think Alexis means something else. I just don't think she knows what the word is.
Well, Alexis is aggressive. My issue is that she tried to blame it on the culture, like we all aggressive. You know what I mean? And it's just not true. Like, you know what I mean? It's just not true. So I also didn't like that because it just kind of plays into the stereotype.
But I have been seeing a bit more as we're watching these shows like this show and Ready to Love, and y'all not gonna like this, but we as black women, and I'm saying we because I think I've kind of experienced some of these, or have had some of these characteristics back in the day. I see us doing things that cringe me out.
Oh, 100%. We got a lot to work on as a people, and that part is
and
cultural.
That's many, and I think that's
but that part is
something is dividing us where we do feel like the respect. There's a thin line.
Weird.
Yes,
it's very weird.
Men and women, and I'm saying that because sometimes I see how women even with Tati and Clay. Sometimes I'm like, wait, girl, you ain't had to talk to him like that. Call him a B word and all this stuff like that. You act like a B. That stuff is a lot, and you can't. I used to tell Joe this all the time. We could do a lot of things. We can't take the words back.
Right.
Like, y'all be thinking like y'all just be saying stuff. People never forget. It imprints on them.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we got to be more conscious of how we speak to each other because, like, what?
Yeah.
Like, it that will reverberate in the back of your brain. Mm-hmm. Like, my therapist says, like, you do not have a garbage can for your thoughts and memories. Mm-hmm. You have to work through them, sort them, and be able to, like, really process what's going on. And sometimes it's so hard to process that kind of interaction with someone.
Yeah.
Like that vitriol, that disgust, that kind of thing. So sometimes watching it be kind of like, y'all are cringing me out. And I mean that both ways. I'm just saying I'm a woman, so I'm speaking from a woman's perspective. I don't want y'all to think we red pilling y'all or nothing. I'm just saying, damn, if we can't talk nice to each other, what are we doing?
Yeah. And no, it is a thing.
It's just be out of hand. Like, why do we got to get with somebody? We got to be the first one. And it's just like. Also, y'all not tired?
Yeah, like, because also a lot of that is, you get back what you put out, right? So if you just in the world, talking crazy to these guys and, and girls of the like or whatever, and then you end up in a cycle of bad toxic relationships because the first thing the amount of times I've heard somebody on TV the past year call a man a bitch, like,
It's
y'all
been
out here just calling men
fascinating.
bitches and thinking that they gonna treat you.
Or the next woman.
Because now we're at a masculinity fight.
And
So
I'm
now,
not saying he's
we're
my,
in a dick slinging contest
Yeah.
in a relationship that's never going to end well.
and I'm not saying he might not have been a bitch. I'm saying you said that.
Yeah,
I be asking my girlfriend. Don't I ask people that all the time? Somebody will say
Yes.
something to me, and I be like, "And you use those words?"
Yeah.
Because that matters. Like,
And a lot of times it's the nail in the coffin. Like, you say certain stuff that, and I'm gonna tell you from a man's perspective, that's some of the biggest weakness that men that I know. I won't speak for all men, but a lot of that stuff, they not getting past it. You know what I mean? And no matter what he done said to you in the day, they don't forget that stuff. You say something about how you make more money than him, or you say something about he was acting sassy, or he was acting like a B word. They be the way they check out, and a lot of them will not even communicate it. It's scary.
yeah, I just want Alexis to feel like safe. I think we arm ourselves with dominance and aggression in order to feel safe. And I want her to be in a place where I would like to know what it looks like when she feels safe.
And she got to figure that out on her own. That's not a her and Chris thing.
That's not a her and
And
Chris
that's not a couples therapy thing for her and anybody. Like, she had to figure out what's making her approach people like this. Because
Yeah.
even before she was with Chris, she just gave like, rah.
No,
like,
she looked like she
what I mean?
bite.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, she do. Like, she had caps in the teeth back in the day. Like,
Yeah.
that's what she's giving. But she said that, she heard what he said. She felt like she was caught off guard, which I don't know how she felt like she was caught off guard. I've been watching this, so Chris been saying this to your face since day
Every
one.
day.
I'm like, the friend said it, Chris
They
said
all
it. It's
say
your mouth.
Literally, the friend said, it's your mouth.
Like, so I'm like, how were you caught off guard? But okay, girl. But they go boxing at Floyd's gym in Cali. And I thought that was a cute date.
I do too, because to Jared's point when he was talking to Ty and Brittany about love language and like, how are you showing him things, right? That's what Alexis is doing. That's what it looks like, Brittany. That's what it looks like. This thing has to be reciprocal. You know what I mean? It's like we was talking about it the other day. Not the other day, but it was a while ago. We got into a whole thing about the happy wife, happy life saying. And I was saying the reason why I don't love the saying is because it insinuates that only one person needs to worry about the happiness of the other person. And it has to be reciprocal, right? The same way that Jared was saying, this is his love language. And you're not showing him that. You're not showing him any of that. I think Alexis heard that in her session with the therapist and said, oh, let me do this. Let me show him that I'm invested in, because he has to see it too.
Well, at the end of the night, they gave each other a kiss. Mwah. That was odd.
It was awkward.
It really made me uncomfortable. But they come on back and they playing another mother jumping game, y'all. And the game is about sex. Okay.
Y'all not bored talking about this? Y'all got to talk about something else, because then you center this in these shallow relationships and then be surprised that, oh, he just want to go to the boom boom room. Of course. That's all y'all talk about. That's all y'all do.
But why are we not talking about, like, do you want to be married? Like,
Yeah,
what do you
like-
see it looking like 2-3 years from now? Or whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop? Like, nobody's having real serious conversations.
Y'all don't even, that's not the standard in your relationship.
Not that
like
you have to be
Brittany
married.
said something like that to Charlie, like, oh, I just don't like it because he was going to take you to the boom boom room. That's the standard in your relationship. You set that environment.
Also, you go
Oh,
to the
y'all-
boom boom room with everybody else. That's why you got 4 kids.
How about that?
That was mean.
That's facts.
That was
you
mean,
just
y'all.
cannot move in this environment and then be surprised when that is the fruits of your own labor.
Yeah.
Y'all only play these sex games. You only talk about that stuff.
Right.
Like, I don't get it.
And you're right. I feel like, what are we even talking about? But the point, it comes down to Brittany and Ty. They get a question that says, do you think you would be good sexual partners if you haven't already had sex. And Britney says pregnant pause, pregnant pause, pregnant pause, pregnant pause, pregnant pause, pregnant pause, yes. Okay. And Ty says no. And she gets upset with him because she felt like he was trying to embarrass her and she was trying to save his ego.
This is more the bad acting that Britney does. In her mind, she thinks she's Kerry Washington.
Girl, really
you sat there and didn't say nothing for 60 minutes, and you thought that was putting on a good face about your relationship. We all saw it. We come on. So we all got what your real answer was because you're a bad actor. And so because you thought you did a good job lying, and you thought that he didn't interpret it as a piss poor lie, now you surprised that he is retaliating, and poorly so, because his answer is just flat out no.
Did you think he was retaliating? I thought he was telling his truth.
In the moment, I think her answer made him feel no.
Okay. Because when he said we don't have a lot of chemistry in that way,
it's true. But I don't think that would have been his answer if she had not gone first and needed 6 years to answer the question.
Y'all have to stop acting like we not adults.
Yeah.
We know y'all be dipping it low and spreading it wide. And that's cool. We all grown out here. But you're not going to sit up here and tell us, like, what do they be saying? Like, it just take me a while to get there. Y'all be lying.
But with him, y'all don't finish these sentences. It take me a while to get there with you.
And we would appreciate that sentence more than you trying to sit up in our face and stop acting like you don't be kissing people in the mouth.
Yeah.
Because what also was said by Jay was that Britney be here all up in everybody else's face. So we know you capable.
But also, she's not the only person who has said that.
That is so true.
So now we are getting it, as the majority consensus that you could smile up in everybody else's man face. So we know that how you can act when you are attracted to somebody.
Yes. And Ty is a nice guy. You know what I mean? Like, it's really unfortunate because I feel almost like you bringing him on here and embarrassing him a little bit.
And it's like, the truth is, which Tatiana basically alluded to this in the aftermath of her situation with Clavassier on social media, that, and maybe this is Jared's story too, that she stayed for the check. Everybody think I'm stupid and everything like that, but I just was going to stay because I was going to keep getting my check, right? And I think part of that is, an ego trip and trying to save face. And I think also two things could be true. Part of that is
the bills is ready on the 30th.
I was still getting a check to be every day that I show up for film, I get paid for it. And so I was going to stay as long as I could for the check. And I think that might be Britney's truth, if we're being honest. Like, Britney didn't like him, we could tell the vibes was off from day one. And she thought, well, I'm not going to mess up this check.
Well, based on the list that Cinco and Jay made at the beginning of the episode, they said, who's next to go? And let's rate these couples. And they said Cinco and Jay, Charlie and Jared, which we know that ain't the truth.
Yeah.
They said, I know, Alexis and Chris, Kiki and Brandon, and then Britney and Ty. Now, do I believe Britney and Ty is next? Yes, but I also believe Charlie and Jared will be right behind them. So,
but not only that, Kiki and Brandon is dead last, y'all. And for
they ain't even on the show.
They're not even on the show. How can they not be last? They don't touch each other. Talk about somebody who don't touch each other. They don't touch each other. She still got a whole, man and whatever else is attached to that man that she's hiding back home. It's very evident that she's like not really into Brandon at all. Brandon is like really into her, but can't get back past the friend zone that she put him in. How are they not last? They ain't doing nothing on the show. I never even seen them go out on a date, I feel like.
Did they go out on a date? Oh, he took pictures of her in lingerie, which was a weird first date, by the way.
Super weird.
Thank y'all so much for joining us again. It's been fun. We love the Never Ever Met So On. Keep up the good work, damn it. Y'all got us. Just keep it up.
Just keep up the episodes. Stop with the hiatuses. We don't y'all taking y'all random PTO in the middle of a season is not okay.
Literally, y'all know I'm about to go on maternity leave. We got to knock these things out.
Also, we are going to get up on. I
Love
got
Island.
some travel conflicts, but we are going to get up on Love Island as soon as we can.
Yes. So we're going to be chatting about that too. So y'all stay tuned for that because our show is back. Okay. So thank y'all again for joining us. I'm your girl, Intisar Eleanor. This is my beautiful husband, Joseph. And we'll see you beautiful mother jumpers later.
Peace.
Bye.